Besides the fact that we've been here for 10 years, I think it's really important that we celebrate the growth and evolution of the association. We started as a very loose-knit organization of a few companies and individuals who had a passion and a recognition that unconventional resources were going to be the wave of the future.
Ken Sinclair had actually started an organization called Canadian Coal Bed and Methane Forum. And at the time when I was with Pan Canadian, we had just started an initiative, and MGV is our partner. And we thought it was a good idea to try and get a wider industry understanding of this resource. There was significant technical challenges, and we thought it would be a good opportunity to take this concept, this relatively loose collegial group of folks, and build into something a little bit more formal.
The original concept was to have a one-shop stop where certain companies could come in and look at other companies' confidential data.
And because we were doing something kind of new, certainly something kind of experimental, we found it useful to interact together, to talk about the issues we're facing. We're kind of pioneers out there, so we like to have the dialogue for, exchange of ideas, and it grew from that.
We were really technically focused. We weren't thinking about some of the things we later got into, like the investor relations, the community relations, the stakeholder relations. So it was largely coal bed methane, technical stuff. When we first started, nobody knew what unconventional gas was, and it wasn't really significant in Canada. Now it's pretty much the dominant resource in Canada. And I think instead of being this technical support group that we were born being, we ended up becoming more of an advocacy group. An educational source for different stakeholders.
And the board started to shift from being 100% volunteer, committee-driven, to more of a strategic and higher-level governance board, and setting strategic plans and letting Mike and then Kevin and the rest, everybody, do their thing.
From first phase meetings in the plus 15 in the 80s to now you get conferences of, 2,000 and 3,000 people. I think it's a good sign.
Over the years, industry has galvanized CSUR into action by pushing the limits of advanced technology. The change that has made the biggest impact?
The evolution of multiple hydraulic fracturing technology deployed in extended reach, lateral, horizontal wells. I mean, that's been the breakthrough technology that's ripped open this industry in North America and now throughout the world.
Public awareness has certainly increased, I'd say, over the last decade in terms of the way that the regulations are structured. Thanks to publicity, positive and negative, the regulations have been forced to be more communicative to the general public.
The industry has just changed so much, and I think what I've learned over the past decade is, I will try to never use the word never again, because there were a couple of things that I said would never happen.
But happen they did, and in spite of unforeseen challenges, CSUR progressed and responded to those challenges head-on. An industry association like this does not become what it is today without the help of some very dedicated people.
Through the dedicated staff we have here, plus all the volunteers, we've really been able to grow this organization to where it is now. What I consider to be one of the go-to and premier industry associations in Canada.
We have a very diverse group of people who volunteer for these committees, and it's people who want to become more involved and help with the communication that's provided on behalf of our industry. But it's people who come from communications backgrounds. It's people who are very technical, who provide a lot of subsurface expertise or surface expertise, people who are frac experts, people who are experts in water management, geologists, engineers.
The volunteers are the heart and blood of our organization, and I like volunteering in part because you get to work with really great creative people, and I think people see that we can do things, that there are things to accomplish. I think people believe in what they do. You get to really in some ways set the agenda and be part of that conversation as we move forward.
The unconventional resource industry is ever evolving, and the society has adapted in order to embrace those changes.
We sat around the board table with our board one day and did an impromptu poll of how many of our board members were involved in tight oil, and in one way or another. That included engineers and service companies and producers, and every board member put his hand up.
And we're nimble. We can respond to the needs of our members very, very quickly. And so we were able to make that transition from predominantly a coal bed methane focused organization to something broader, to shale gas, and now to unconventional resources.
I think part of the success we've had is because of the challenges. It's the technical issues that we've been able to solve, some of them better than others. It's those issues that have basically galvanized us into more and more relevance because we have to continually educate governments and stakeholders about issues that we're facing.
It brings together people of all different backgrounds, all different companies, all different regions of Canada. You know, it gives people an opportunity to not only talk about what the topic at hand is, but it also gives people an opportunity to just talk about the business in general.
I would say CSUR has offered, just invaluable deep technical expertise on a number of the issues that we're working together on. Around things like shale gas and fracking. They bring a particular depth of knowledge around these technical issues, which has been extremely helpful.
While I've only been full-time president since 2007, been involved in the organization since its inception, but I've decided to take a much more grandiose step, and I'm actually going to retire in September.
Mike Dawson has been the voice of CSUR since 2005 and an active proponent of the unconventional resource industry.
I think Mike's been a terrific spokesman for CSUG and now CSUR, and he's going to be missed. I think anybody that's involved in a serious way in developing unconventional resources in Western Canada is familiar with Mike and his face. So Mike's going to be missed.
What will I miss most? Well, obviously the interaction with our staff members. Our staff are really, really dedicated professionals, and they really they're the glue that keeps everything moving and the vital cog in the whole organization. And also the industry contacts, all the dedicated volunteers that have worked so hard to make CSUR successful.
Do we replace Mike, or do we, put Mike on a chair in the back room someplace, and continue to evolve and use Mike as I was going to say a tool, but that might not be the right word.
Get out of here! This guy's a loony.
As CSUR looks to the future, one thing that is certain is that this industry shows no signs of slowing down.
It's an organization today that's expanding and always trying to learn and go forward.
Personally, I think unconventional oil is going to go the way of unconventional gas. It's moving up that curve. I think it's going to happen. So it's good to get ahead of this, get the industry involved, get the technology out there, talk about it, especially, again, more stakeholder issues.
I think that CSUR is going to evolve into more of a front for the public to go to. I think that it's evolved from just an industries type group, and it's evolving into an industry/public front.
Our view is that social license to operate is a combination of performance and communications. The fact that we're able to bring real technical expertise to the table, respected expertise from organizations like CSUR, helps us all on the communications side, and it underlines the credibility of what we're doing on performance.
Providing energy resources to the world is a fundamentally important job that we do. I want to do it in the most responsible, in the most environmentally conscious, and in a way that everyone can live together. And I think that CSUR has a really important role in that. I volunteer because I want to be part of that conversation. I want to be part of this exciting new world and see how it unfolds.
It is about protecting the environment. It is about making sure that we can all coexist, the environment, public demand, as well as industry, aka our economy.
I enjoy being a part of it. I enjoy the activities that they put on. I enjoy working with the people in CSUR, and I wish them many long years of success.
It's certainly something that I would encourage other members, member companies to have their people participate in.